what exactly I can do in an aircraft in order to inform people on the ground how in what ways I can support them. Now, this won't be covering everything I can do, because a lot of that is just a behind-the-scenes stuff, but this is going to help demonstrate what I can do. So, first off, the most important thing I have at my disposal that isn't a weapon is my laser designator. Now, this typically, now even if I don't have a laser designator specifically on the craft, I still have this camera, but the laser designator helps in other functions. Hold on, let me use an F-35 here for this demonstration, so I'm going to try to hover, like slow down slowly. But either way, this allows me to target specific vehicles on the ground as well as get a view on everything. Now, I've set up some targets out here. These are, I have them down as artillery as well as some infantry on the ground. Considering how radically they're moving, they probably see me. But either way, let's start off with the basics. I have a number of weapons at my disposal, so we'll start off with we're already at high altitude, so we're going to start off with a laser guided bomb. So what do I got? Here we go. Okay, so the important thing to note about laser guided bombs is that they do not have any sort of guidance aside from gliding. If I'm ahead of the target, it will not hit. Heck, even if I'm right above the target, sometimes it just won't hit because it has to glide way too far away. So typically, the target needs to be somewhat in front of me. And the higher I am, the more leeway I have with that. I'm currently sitting around there. I can probably hit it. Just to be safe, I'm going to yaw the craft in order to demonstrate this. So, we're going to target that, and then we're going to drop one bomb. Now, since they're a bomb and not a missile, they also take a while to get to the target. And this will depend on how high I am up, but at the same time, being high up means I won't get hit by the explosion, and I'm not going to be targeted with AA fire. At least, unless there's a SAM site. So, I'm about 1,000 meters up. We should start to see an explosion sometime soon. Hopefully I did everything right. There we go. Huh, that was such a big explosion, that it even damaged these artillery pieces. Still active enough for demonstration purposes, thankfully. So, different kinds of bombs have different yields because they're different pound bombs. These ones I think are 1,000 pounds, so that's why they damage the others. So, moving on. Let's go with another type. Let's switch over to the GDAMs. Some of these also have a laser designator, but designated system. But either way, the important thing about JDAMs is that I don't even have to laser designate the target. So if they do have laser designate feature, it's nice to be able to crack mid-flight. But the main advantage of one of these bomb types is that, hold on, let me bounce out the craft. is that I can pull this up. Let's try to find these. Here we are. Let's target this one. I can just clear. There we go. That was kind of being a bit finicky, but either way, it's going to target that one, and I'm going to drop this 500-pound bomb. It's one of the ones over here. Should be that one, because that one doesn't look like it's got damaged. So we're going to keep an eye on that. It's going to take a while, and apparently with our recording software, it kind of just like crapped out when it landed. And a bit off center, but it destroyed the already damaged one, and it destroyed that one as well. It's probably also killing some of the crewmen that were already bailed. So the great news about that one is that I don't even have to be near the target. Now I was near the target there, but so long as I can designate a spot, I can hit it. And it even shows up map markers. As you can see, there's this map marker right here. So if you mark something, I'll be able to see it. I also sometimes call these GPS guided bombs because they are guided by GPS. Now for the next one, let's go with Mavericks. Mavericks are IR or laser guided missiles, depending on what the version is. Let's first off turn them off the laser doesn't matter, so that way I can actually target. Okay, there we go. Alright, so the Mavericks can target anything that's running hot on the ground. Since these shell lifts are on, I can target them. And since they're a missile and not a bomb, they'll get to the target much quicker. He used some IR smoke to try to avoid it, but even still, you can see from the black smoke that he just got demolished. Now, I think that second pillar of black smoke is his buddy there. His buddy's still active, but yep, he's now toast. So anyway, I'm going to kill some of my altitude, so that way I can show you rockets. Rockets are straightforward, but they depending on the rocket type, they can be really devastating. I'm using Zunis. Zunis are the largest of the U.S. rockets. I think they're even the largest rockets in Firewall's weapon packs. They only come 4 per pod, though, in some weapon loadouts, so you can have 2 per mount. So I only have selected 1 Zuni set. However, the weapon mount allowed me to have 2 Zuni sets, 2 Zuni pods, so I have 8. Now, Zunis are pretty tough. I mean, they can crack a tough target and can sometimes even be pretty accurate. So I'm gonna get close, but I think I can actually nail that shell right now. In fact, I'm gonna even try. If that's a bit off kilter. Ooh, that actually did some damage. And that was good. Alright. Anyway, as you can see, rockets are really nice. Zunis are really devastating and can destroy tanks. Though, whereas Hydras are what you're typically thinking of when thinking of rockets, and then they're just there to pelt things. Better against lightly armored targets and infantry, but against tanks, you're gonna want Zunis. Alright, so for the next one, let's do cannons. Cannons are typically loaded with HE rounds, so you can miss somewhat with them. But either way, cannons are not exactly the best thing for CAS, as they don't have the punch of rockets, and they don't have a guidance system. So you had to really target them, and you had to kind of consistently target them to do some damage to any vehicles. But against infantry, they should be fine, and even light vehicles. So I'll do. Okay, I couldn't really see them from that angle, so there's that. And it looks like I'm getting shot at by machine gun fire. I chose shield lefts because I thought that they didn't have turrets, but then I zoomed in and I was like, oh, they do have turrets. Oh, well, they aren't. They're still self-propelled guns, so they were going to take a beating unless I use something good on them. But either way, let's swing this around. Oh, and since I'm using a F-35, I don't necessarily have to be I'm flying rather slow. I'm typically zooming over these guys. As you can see, they aren't really good against tanks. Against infantry, they can do some of a job, but it's sometimes just it's hard to tell from the ground, from the sky. So you're gonna have to tell me from the ground if that was a good effect on target. Typically, I'll know when it comes to everything else, but guns, unless there's an explosion, I can't tell. Alright, so final weapon, we are... I should know... Oh, I forgot one. This still kind of technically is with the rest of them, but it's special. Cluster munitions are something that... No, they can either be laser guided, or they can be free fall, or they can be GPS guided. So you're pretty much familiar with cluster munitions already. I think there's one variant of a cluster munition that doesn't actually leave any amount of unexploded ordnance. I think I'm actually using that one, which is nice. I'm not sure if it's any amount or just leaves a very little. So either way, I'm gonna find where the heck these guys are. To our right. So okay, I'm gonna launch that. And we're going to look from over here to see how well that goes. You can kind of see it going over here. And it detonates in the air. And as you can see, it pelts the ground completely. Let's go with a... I couldn't switch back over to mechanics in time. I thought it was actually closer to one of the rest of my weapons than I thought. Either way, let's get out of here, because we're done with that section. We are nearly done with what I can do from the sky. The last one may not come into play with you people, but as it's more affects me, but it's something important to know. You see, aircraft aren't defenseless against SAM sites. There are two ways SAMs pick up on targets. They either detect the radar signatures of aircraft in the air, or they or they just, or they actually, let me phrase that. They either use their radar to find you, or they use your radar to find you. If they detect radar waves in the air, they'll pick that up. So as you can see, I don't have my radar on. That is because I don't want to get shot up at the SAM site. I don't know how far I am from it. I can actually see them on the map already. So I could also hit with a GPS bomb if I wanted. But either way, let's go ahead and use... Where is it? Yeah, the HARM. And the... Don't know what the H stands for, but it's anti-radiation missile for the rest. It detects the radiation from radar, and it will target it. So we're gonna... let's not turn on radar. In fact, let's also try to let's increase the vector now, because I am kind of want to control my speed here. I've actually never personally used this missile before. This is actually the first time I'm testing it out. I've seen it in a YouTube video. I can't remember how you actually go about targeting with this thing. I think you just point your aircraft in the general direction, and then you use the target key. So around there, like I even think you, let's, I know I can probably also use the camera. So let's try to get some, let's try to do some, oh fuck, I'm upside down. Let's flip myself back around and just wait until I've killed my speed for settling. There we go. So we're gonna be. Is that over there? Do I already see it? No, those are the trees. So either way, oh, I'm picking up on the sensor. So I even already detected right now. Somewhere over there. I think that means I'm locked on, so I'm gonna fire. I may be wrong here. Oh no, it's veering off to it. Yeah, that hit the radar station. The SAM site, however, is currently not exactly happy. So I'm gonna fire a Maverick at it. So yeah, it destroys the radar, but as far as the SAM site itself, it doesn't detect that. So I had to manually hit it, but it at least allows me to deal with both of these on my own, so you guys don't have to deal with it. Either way, that concludes this demonstration. The only other thing I can think, one of the comments is that if I'm using a GPS guided bomb and it also has IR guidance, typically I'll say if it does or doesn't, you should laze the target, so that way it can do some course correction. Because it's, as you saw, it's not always going to be precise. It'll get close. Sometimes even close enough, but even still. But if you guys enjoyed learning about all this, I might even make a video on everything else, so that way you know how I respond to threats in the air. So either way, I'll see you guys around.